I'm recording this video just a few days after the massacre in Arizona that claimed at least 6 lives, including that of 9-year-old child Christina Green and federal judge John Roll, and left dozens more wounded, including Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. Although many are already speaking out on this issue, I want to add my voice to those who believe, as I do, that this tragedy has a direct link to the out-of-control, violent political rhetoric that has engulfed America since the election of Barack Obama and the rise of Sarah Palin and the Tea Party. Not so long before being shot, Congresswoman Gifford stood in Congress and read the First Amendment of the Constitution, which guarantees the right of free speech, religion, and peaceful assembly. These 3 things are the most basic and important concepts in a democratic nation. Sadly, many of those in a position of power, both in politics and the media, have twisted this right into a dangerous weapon that is used not to better the lives of others, but to sow anger, hate, and merely to get ratings and to have their face on the front page of the news. Barack and Michelle Obama, Sarah Palin, Nancy Pelosi, Rush Limbaugh, Oprah Winfrey, Glenn Beck. These are some of the worst offenders, and there are, of course, many others who could be on this list as well. It is becoming clear that the suspect in this case, Jared Langham, is a person suffering from what seems to be serious psychological issues. But there are those who would say that he was a loose cannon who nobody could have seen coming. While this may be true in a basic sense, I think that all of us must take a step back to gain a more global perspective on the Arizona massacre. Each of us is a very complex blend of our basic genetic inheritance and environmental influences. While this relationship is not completely understood, it has become clear that external influences can have a massive effect on a person's attitude and behavior. There are many cases of people who have suffered trauma having been healed by a positive and supportive environment. Unfortunately, the reverse is often true as well. A spilled drink can lead to a barroom brawl as everybody in the bar becomes hyped up and out of control, or a bad play by a football team will lead all too often to a riot. This is also true in the political arena. Instead of simply presenting their views in a calm and logical manner, politicians deliberately choose inflammatory language to whip up their supporters into an uncontrolled mob frenzy and then aim this mob at their opponent without any regard at all for any possible consequences. Talk show hosts will all too often do the same thing. Sitting in a quiet, air-conditioned room, they will look for any way to improve their ratings and their followings with no thought at all to the possible consequences of their actions. And then something terrible happens, and everybody looks shocked and wonders what could possibly have gone wrong. And it is all of us who have allowed this to happen. When Sarah Palin talks about shooting people who do not agree with her, we cheer. When Obama talks about bringing a gun to a knife fight, we cheer. When his wife Michelle Obama tells us to shake somebody until they agree to vote, we cheer. And why do Oprah, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, and so many other media personalities have so much to say about who we should vote for and what issues are important? We don't seem to be able to think for ourselves anymore as American citizens, as thinking people. Millions watched, not so long ago, as Oprah sat in the Kennedy Center Awards and was lavished with praise for doing nothing more than sitting in a camera and talking about her opinions, as if her opinions are any more than yours and mine. And yes, she and others did give aid to Katrina victims, to Haiti, and to other disaster victims. But we must ask the questions. Do we really need Oprah's okay to do this? Are we a culture so sick that we need to jump on the celebrity bandwagon simply to help those in need? Most of us can do nothing to directly aid the victims of the Arizona massacre. Some of us will be able to send money or do something small for those suffering due to this tragedy, and help. And all of this help is, of course, very, very good to provide. But there is something we can all do to prevent more needless bloodshed and pain. We can change the way that we and those that we elect listen and talk about the important issues that affect all of us. First, we need to have the courage to take a long, hard look at the way we speak and act towards each other, and to realize the damage caused by anger, hate, and fear. Then, in a clear and calm way, we as a nation remind our elected officials about the absolute need to remain civil to each other and to address the issues, and not to attack each other with inflammatory words and ideas. If they don't listen, they need to be voted out. And if those in the media continue to use hate speech to make themselves more important, we need to stop listening to them and demand that these people be taken off the air. They only are on the air because we listen to them. If we stop listening to them, they won't have an audience and they will be off the air. We choose to keep them in power. We as a nation must remind those in power that the power that they wield is a privilege, one that can and will be taken from them if they continue to act in irrational and irresponsible ways. In a very real way, we are all, as Americans and as citizens of the world and as human beings, responsible for the Arizona massacre. All of us are also capable of making small, positive, compassionate changes in our own life, and to serve everybody that we come into contact with honor and respect. If each of us will do that and not concentrate on media personalities and on inflammatory rhetoric and on hate, anger, and fear, the world will slowly become a better place for everybody. Thank you for listening. As always, please feel free to leave any comments, either positive or negative, or any videos to or opposed to this particular topic on my YouTube page. It is only through debate, discussion, and a calm, compassionate conversation that we will be able to improve the situation that we're in now.